Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the ABC Dry Fire Dungeon. Today's conversation is about training because that's something you should be doing instead of looking at 2011s or trying to figure out which mag release you need for your gun or stupid stuff like that. Like you should just be practicing. People would rather purchase things than practice things, and I'm not that way. I don't have any money, so all I have to do is practice. So, the elephant in the room, some videos of me practicing have gotten out on the internet. I think a lot of people were surprised that I practice. I think that was the biggest shock value was people were like, he actually practices. I didn't know that. I thought he just lived on the internet all the time. Yes, I actually practice. I do train. I do compete, and I do talk a lot of trash on the internet. Um, there was a lot of nasty comments on my videos. You can check them out on Anderson Shooting on Instagram. I don't know if they're on his YouTube. They're for sure on his Instagram. And go buy a book and sign up for a class while you're there. But there's a lot of nasty comments. Some of them are from a lot of M's and GMs. Some people that I compete with locally, which I thought was an interesting one. Some other instructors. One that had nice things to say was Isaac Lockwood. So shout out Isaac Lockwood for not being a d bag. Um, I think whenever you watch Isaac Lockwood's videos, you can tell that he practices the things that he does on video a lot. Like that he is, I would assume he's probably a good practicer. That he practices a lot, and then he can do cool stuff on video because he practices a lot. Um, Another instructor had some nasty things to say. I'm not going to put him on the spot. I don't wanna blow his setup. He's famous for teaching hit factor math. That is who the instructors. You can go read the comments and you can figure out who it is. But I'm like, "Yeah, why don't you teach your students how much of an ass kicking I'm gonna put on them?" That's what the hit factor math you need to be looking at. His stupid comments are too I mean, back to back dumb stuff out of this little twink was, number 1 about how I just got lucky shooting a .71 alpha. It's like out of blank number of tries, he got lucky once. And it's like, it wasn't luck. Like anybody with a brain can tell that was a .6 alpha that I let linger for another tenth of a second to guarantee that it was an alpha. Um, it's like, no, I knew it was an alpha as soon as I pulled the trigger. Um, it wasn't there was no luck involved. And I can do that like multiple times in a row. And I don't know how many times you have to do something in a row for luck to become skill, but who knows? I don't know the answer. Then the other one, this is another stupid thing. This way you shouldn't take classes with this guy. Is like, how is having a fast draw going to help in competition? Like, I don't know. I went from unclassified to master class in one match in Steel Challenge. I don't think having a fast draw hurt that. I don't think that I don't think I would have made GM if I had a slower draw. It's so stupid. And that's, but then even in USPSA, like, oh no, it's such a bad thing that I have between a half and 3/10 of a second head start on most of the competition, because anybody will tell you time spent not shooting is reduction in hit factor. Calculate that in your stupid hit factor math about time spent not shooting is reduction in hit factor. And if you can reduce the amount of time from the beep to the first shot, probably pretty good for hit factor because it is a sport where points and time are both recorded. Let's not forget that. So anything that can be done sooner is probably a good idea. Um, there's some other comments. Oh, it's the bullets are going to ricochet. Like this range has probably 50-foot high berms. They're huge, especially the one I was shooting at. No bullet I fired did not hit the berm. It's like every bullet I fired hit the berm. Um, and the berm is like I said, 50 feet high. It's like taller than regular dirt, and then railroad ties on top of the already stupidly high dirt. And so it was, like Steve said in his podcast, it was dangerous. Sure, anything you do with a gun is dangerous, but it wasn't unsafe. Like nobody felt unsafe. There was never a point in time that anything unsafe happened outside of the range we were at, having these steel targets that were shot to shit by rifles. Um, that twice over the course of the 4 days I was there, somebody took a ricochet off a steel because the range that we were at has has let people shoot their pistol steel with rifles. So that was both dangerous and unsafe was the condition of the steel targets. But my draw was not. I practice uh, draws twice a day, not two repetitions a day. Um, and then point on one reload. That was another one that I don't think it drew as much ire. People saying, "Oh, that was just a negligent discharging." No, it wasn't. Like, I'm pretty sure. Like I have a on video point nine Alpha Charlie. I think it's at 5 yards, like of a point nine. It was, I think, like I'm not gonna try to misquote the numbers. I believe it is 146 or 147 to first, like, or 146 to 147, draw one, reload one. It was like a point five or like 0.57 draw, and then like a point nine or a 0.91 reload. I don't remember. There was two of them. One of them's on video and one of them's not. One was a nine and one was a 9-1, and I don't remember which one it is. But it's like, no, I can do that to an Alpha Charlie standard. That was not. Then the gun malfunctions. Like, well, the gun was brand new. It was kind of being a piece of crap all day. It's the same gun that had the red dot issues. I got a red dot that works on it. Then I can finally shoot the gun. It was my first like true range session with it. Then it was kind of being a piece of crap. I lubed it. I like checked the extractor. I thought the screw might have been interfering with the extractor, but I don't think that was the problem. I think it just needed some lube, and it's a bunch of brand new parts. Like, um, so it's like, oh, it malfunction. Like, oh my god, what difference does it make? what difference? What difference does the gun malfunctioning make in that? Like, it's just people picking at me. Like I said, some GMs and M's. I think they're getting nervous that they cannot do these things, and they realize that once I figure out some of the other aspects of the sport, I'm going to be handing out ass whoopings. We're going to have to learn hit factor math to figure out how much of an ass whooping I'm going to be handing out on a weekly basis. Um, I'm going to be at the Texas State Open Championship. That's kind of the thing on my mind right now is not idiots on the internet. It is state championship. Looking forward to that. Um, I am kind of adjusting my dry fire, some of the things I'm doing to prepare for that, to put myself in position to show up and put the dot in the center of the target and get a great result. And so, yeah, kind of the conclusion of this is like, I guess this is why professional sports teams do not let cameras in their practices to some degree. I think they don't want people copying it, but then also it's like, it's messy. Like, I am the person that created super stupid mode, where sometimes I dry fire without my red dot on. People be like, oh, that's just going to make you inaccurate. No, I'm actually the first person in recorded history to used to be the standard at Steve's class was that you were a rock star if you shot the first, like he does like four drills at the end where there's some walls and you're moving and shooting. And if you could shoot the first one, all alphas, you were like the man. I shot all four of them, all alphas, except there is one where you add partials, and anywhere on brown is considered an alpha, because Steve teaches if you're not in contention to win a national or world championship, just shoot the center of brown on partials. So, but I'm the first person in recorded history to shoot a perfect score on every rep of that. I also had a 25-yard group that was probably that big. It was one hole, probably at the size of maybe a little bit bigger than a quarter. And so people are like, oh, practice without your red dot on, you're probably going to be really inaccurate. No, actually, I figured out the opposite, that I'm so target focused that I'll just put the dot in the center of the target, pull the trigger without disturbing the sights. And then I had a 170 all alpha bill drill. That was good enough. I'm happy with that. A bill drill is not something I practice at all. Um, but yeah, training should be messy. It doesn't matter how many tries it takes you to get something right in practice. That's literally the point of practicing, like this stupid instructor. I'm calling him a twink. Everybody's gonna know who I'm talking about when I call him a twink that does hit factor math. Like, oh, you got after X number of tries. Like, yeah, that's the point of practicing. Because if I could do it in a match, I'd already have done it. I can't do it. So I'm going to try it over and over until I figure out how to do it. And then who knows, maybe I'll get lucky one day in a match. And that's about all I've got. I made a new dry fire toy, put an O sight on this training gun. I just drilled some screws and like put some super glue on the bottom of it. And it's like, it's on there. I like it. It's fun just to kind of be able to pick it up and not have to chamber check or anything. I can just pick it up and just start pointing it wherever I want to point. I can be unsafe. I guess I'm the reigning defending king of unsafe gun handling on the internet. And I'm going to make it everyone's problem. So happy Monday, happy National Monday for those who celebrate. Um, I will see you when I see you.